Hello and welcome to News Pulse. I'm Muamla and these are the headlines. Tata Sons has won the bid to acquire national carrier Air India. The Salt-2 software conglomerate placed a winning bid of 18,000 crore reacquired the airline more than half a century after it ceded control to the government. The latest notice, which was pasted on the wall of Ajay Mishra's house on Friday afternoon after the minister's son skipped 5 days' notice, warned the legal action will be initiated against him if he fails to appear before the investigators on Saturday. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav on Friday demanded the resignation of Union Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra Taini over the Lakhimpur Kheri incident and hoped that the families of those who died in the violence get justice soon. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority on Friday said that government employees who have not taken COVID-19 vaccine will not be allowed to attend office starting October 16. Now news in details. India and Chinese troops were engaged in a face-off along the line of actual control in the Arunachal Pradesh sector as the patrols of two countries come face to face at one location. Sources in the defense establishment said the face-off took place between the two sides last week and the troops disengaged after the talks between the two local commanders as per existing protocols. As per sources, the face-off lasted for a few hours before the troops disengaged and Indian troops outnumbered the Chinese at the location. There was no damage to the Indian defenses in the face-off that took place between the two sides at the location, they said.
Major Chinese incursions in Arunachal Pradesh in the area of Bumla, Yangtze. Bumla, to get an idea about where exactly Bumla is located and how important is it strategically for us. Well, Bumla is right on the line of control, line of actual control with China, and from Bumla starts the access towards Tawang. It's the main access that we have from Bumla to Tawang, and Tawang onwards further it goes across the Sela Pass and then goes to Bombila and down to the plains to Tejpur. So Bumla is an extremely important place for us, and Yangtze is to the east of Bumla, perhaps about 20-25 kilometers. I'm not too familiar with Yangtze, but Bumla I've been to that place time and again during my career in the army. As far as the Chinese are concerned, there are quite a few hotspots in Arunachal Pradesh. Given a choice, they would like to say the whole state is ours, but then as it stands right now, it appears there is an attempt to, having met huge resistance there in eastern Ladakh, to spread this disputed points, or rather to spread the troubled disputed points, have them sprout up once again all across the border. So we see certain things happening over here, and we possibly see certain more incursions in other areas as we go along.
Since the India-China border has not been formally demarcated and hence there is a difference in perception of LAC between the countries, the sources said both sides undertake patrolling activities up to their line of perception. Whenever patrols of both sides physically meet, the situation is managed according to established protocols and mechanisms agreed by both sides. Physical engagement can last for a few hours prior to disengaging as per mutual understanding, they said. Earlier in August, India and China had disengaged troops from the Gorgra Heights area and moved them back to their permanent bases. In the 12th round of military talks, India and China had agreed to disengage troops from patrolling point 17A, one of the friction points between the two countries in the eastern Ladakh region. Tata Sons has won the bid to acquire national carrier Air India. The Salt-2 software conglomerate placed a winning bid of rupees 18,000 crore to acquire the airline more than half a century after it ceded control to the government. Apart from 100% stake in Air India and its low-cost arm, Air India Express. The winning bid also includes a 50% stake in ground handling company Air India States Airport Service Private Limited. Tata's Special Purpose Vehicle Talis Private Limited emerged as the winning bidder, DPIM Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey said. As on August 31, 2021, Air India has a total debt of rupees 61,562 crore. Out of that, rupees 15,300 will be taken over by the bidder, Mr. Pandey stated. So rupees 46,262 crore will be transferred to Air India Assets Holding Limited, he added. AIAHL is a SPV formed by the government. Earlier this month, both Tata Sons and SpiceJet chairman Ajay Singh had placed bids. Reports last month that Tata had won the bid were played down by Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who said then that nothing had been finalized. This was the second attempt by the Narendra Modi government to sell Air India. Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan Arbas Merchant and Munmun Damecha's bail pleas has been rejected by Mumbai's Esplanade Court. The hearing of the bail plea of Aryan and others arrested in a case pertaining to the alleged seizure of banned drugs aboard a cruise ship in Mumbai began at 12:30 p.m. today. The court had sent the accused to jail under 14-day judicial custody on Thursday, and they soon filed bail applications. The Narcotics Control Bureau had made a strong plea for an extension of custody of Aryan Khan and the others accused, saying they need to be confronted with another man arrested in the case to unearth the chain of conspiracy. Aryan Khan and two other accused, Munmun Damecha and Arbas Merchant, were arrested by the NCB on October 3 following a raid on the Goa-bound cruise ship off the Mumbai coast. So far, there have been 18 arrests in total. In a related development, Samir Wakande, Zonal Director, NCB, requested the court to keep the accused at the probe agency's office in the city as the jail doesn't admit prisoners without COVID-19 test report. The court granted the request as no objection was raised by the defense. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav on Friday demanded the resignation of Union Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra Teni over the Lakhimpur Kheri incident and hoped that the families of those who died in the violence get justice soon. Yadav left for Bahraich to meet families of two farmers who lost their lives in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence on Friday. Speaking to reporters, Yadav said the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of the incident. Now there is hope that the affected families will get justice. MOS Home Ajay Mishra Teni should resign.
समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी तो करोड़ों की मदद किसानों की होगी। जब उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार दम भरती है इस बात की कि $1 करोड़ की इकोनॉमी कर देगी, क्या $1 करोड़ की इकोनॉमी में गरीब के लिए आपके पास 2 करोड़ रुपए नहीं है? और जो अभी घायल हैं उनकी क्या मदद कर रहे हैं? अभी तक कई घायल ऐसे हैं जिनका मेडिकल नहीं हुआ है, मेडिकल नहीं होकर के मदद भी नहीं हुई जो मदद होनी चाहिए। घायलों की भी सरकार को मदद करनी चाहिए। समाजवादी पार्टी लगातार इसी तरह करती रहेगी, जो अन्याय हो रहा उसके खिलाफ लड़ेगी और रणनीति बना करके आने वाले समय में क्या करें उस दिशा में काम करेगी।
Responding to a question on speculations about Ashish Mishra reportedly fleeing to Nepal, he said he is not aware of the situation. If it is true, then the case is not in the Uttar Pradesh government's purview. Now the central government would have to interfere and bring back Ashish Mishra. The former chief minister had also demanded rupees 2 crore ex gratia to the farmers, which was rejected by the UP government. He said, if the Samajwadi party forms the government, then we will pay the rupees 2 crore to the farmers. The UP government had agreed to pay rupees 50 lakh to the farmers who had died in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence on Sunday. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority on Friday said that government employees who have not taken COVID-19 vaccine will not be allowed to attend office starting October 16. As per the DDMA order, all such unvaccinated government employees, including teachers and frontline workers, will be treated as on leave till they get the jab. The employees who do not get vaccinated at least first dose by October 15 shall not be allowed to attend their respective offices or healthcare institutions, education institutions with effect from October 16 till they have obtained the first dose vaccine, it said. The heads of departments concerned will verify vaccinated employees through the Arogya Setu app or vaccination certificate, it stated. The order issued by Delhi Chief Secretary Vijay Dev said that the central government may consider issuing similar directions in respect of its employees working in Delhi. Mishra asking him to appear before the investigators on Saturday at 11 a.m. in connection with violence in Lakhimpur Kheri that killed 8 people, including 5 farmers. The latest notice, which was pasted on the wall of Ajay Mishra's house on Friday afternoon after the minister's son skipped Friday's notice, warned that legal action will be initiated against him if he fails to appear before the investigators on Saturday. My son was summoned yesterday, but due to health reasons, he could not report to the police. He will report tomorrow, says Union Minister of State Ajay Mishra Taini on his son Ashish Mishra not reporting on Friday. Agarwal, who is heading the team probing Sunday's incident, waited for him at the police lines, but he didn't show up, after which a fresh notice was issued. Asked about it, Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav on Friday said if this is true, the centre should intervene and get the accused arrested from Nepal. In a statement issued here, the Samyukt Kisan Morcha said there is no trace of him. News reports indicate that he is changing locations and is absconding, with several Uttar Pradesh police teams searching for him. Ram Gurmeet and 4 others, the Special CBI Court in Haryana's Panchkula on Friday convicted Dera Sacha Sauda, Chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim and 4 others in connection with former Dera manager Ranjit Singh's murder case. The other accused in the case are Krishan Lal, Jasprit Singh, Avtar Singh and Sabdil. One more accused in the case had passed away a year ago. The quantum of sentence in the matter will be pronounced on October 12. Gurmeet Ram Rahim was the main accused in the murder case of the Dera manager Ranjit Singh. Ranjit Singh was murdered in 2002 in the premises of Dera Sacha Sauda. The Dera chief was sentenced in August 2017 to 20 years of imprisonment in connection with raping 2 of his women followers and the murder of a journalist. Former Pradesh Congress Chief Piyush Kanti Biswas formed his own political party in Agartala on Thursday, just a day after his resignation from the Indian National Congress primary membership. Speaking with reporters, Biswas said that after a long years of association with the Congress, starting from his student days in 1969, he was compelled to leave the party due to the ignorance and groupism in the Grand Old Party. I have been a loyal worker for all my life, but what we have seen for the last 28 years is that the AICC has neglected the requests of the Congress leaders in Tripura. I have realized that being in the Congress, we cannot work for the people, Biswas added.
AICC is not serious. They want to promote the CPIM. As a result, and I understand that in their attempt they will fail, and they are going to promote and help the BJP. But we had a commitment to the people of the Tripura to work for their interest, to protect their interest, and to establish a democratic government. For that, we discussed among ourselves, between the senior leaders and young leaders. Everybody now realized that under the banner of Congress, we cannot do anything better for the people. As a result, we have decided to form the government that will be under the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi, late Mahatma Gandhi. And we have given a chart of demand in which we specifically mention the future program, that is unemployment. State is in deep economic crisis, and that is one of the main reasons is because administration and everything is run by some mafias. Administration has no role. They have no control over the mafias. They are deciding. So there is a atmosphere, there is a stage of looting the government funds, public funds. The funds allotted for the benefit of the people who are, those are looted. Those are not going to the hands of the downtrodden people.
The launching event was also attended by the former MLA Tata, who quit the party on Wednesday after 58 years of his association with the Congress over differences with the party leaders. Hundreds of supporters and leaders from Congress party joined the newly formed TDF in Agartala Press Club premises through a small program. Pujan Biswas, former Youth Congress president and son of Piyush Kanti Biswas, was named the president of the party, while the executive committee would be announced shortly. The Apex Women Association of POM Community, Phomla Hoichum, today held its 12th general meeting at VC and VDP Association Hall, Longland, with Phom Baptist Christian Association Women's Secretary Ang Phen as the speaker. Speaking at the program, Ang Phen encouraged mothers to play an active role in shaping the future of POM generation. She also spoke on the role of good leadership for a better society. Earlier, Phomla Hoichum President Sham Thai Phom extended greetings to the gathering.
He does not create issue when people demand for a new leader.
The first 4 Indian sports in the match between the Chennai Super Kings and the Punjab Kings, it was match day 53, where the Punjab Kings needed a scintillating victory to still stay in the race, and even though victory was achieved by the Punjab Kings, the win by 6 wickets with 42 balls remaining. KL Rahul stole the limelight with his masterstroke, scoring 98 runs in just 42 deliveries, but sadly that was not enough. But apart from the loss and victory, an incident took place that was straight off from romantic and enduring Bollywood or Hollywood film. Chennai Super Kings bowler Deepak Chahar did something that the IPL experienced for the first time. After the match presentation, we saw Deepak Chahar kneel down and propose to his fiancée Jaya Bharadwaj. The camera panned at the couple as Deepak Chahar knelt before his fiancée Jaya Bharadwaj and proposed to her, offering her ring. To which Jaya looked blissfully astounded, and luckily for Deepak, yes was the answer. Let's have a look at the clip. Ahead of the assembly elections in Uttarakhand scheduled for next year, an independent MLA from Bhimtal Ram Singh Kaira on Friday joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. Kaira joined BJP in presence of Union Minister Smriti Irani at the party headquarters in the national capital. Meanwhile, BJP leader Sabyasachi Dutta on Wednesday joined Trinamool Congress. Assembly elections are scheduled to be held in Uttarakhand next year. 7 Indian states are gearing up for Assembly elections 2022, while 5 states will go to polls in the first quarter of 2022. The other 2 states will vote in the last 2 months of that year.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सोच विकास की रही है। मैं जहाँ से विधायक हूँ वहाँ पर सड़कों का अभाव था, वहाँ पर गांव में पानी नहीं आता था। तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने माननीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में प्रधानमंत्री सड़क योजना के तहत कई गांव में रोडें गई है और विकास की सोच भारतीय जनता पार्टी रखती है। इसलिए मैं विकास की सोच के साथ हूँ, इसलिए मैंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी में शामिल हुआ। इलेक्शन देखिए, किसी पार्टी में अगर शामिल हो जाए वो अगर कोई व्यक्ति होता है तो इसलिए उनकी नीतियों से, उनके कार्यक्रमों से प्रभावित होकर के होता है और आगे पार्टी का जो आदेश होगा उस आदेश का मैं पालन करूंगा।
After the incident that took place in Kashmir, where 2 Kashmir civilians, a woman principal and a teacher belonging to minority communities, were shot dead by the militants, the National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah on Thursday appealed to members of minority communities in Kashmir not to leave the valley, saying that the perpetrators of the recent civilian killings can't be allowed to succeed in their evil designs. Earlier today, he made his arrival at Supender Kaur's residence, who was one of the victims killed by the militants. Militants have killed 4 people from the minority communities in Kashmir in the past 3 days. Besides Kaur and Chand, a prominent Kashmiri Pandit who owned Srinagar's most famous pharmacy and a roadside vendor were among those killed. This is all for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.